Okay, so the next brand I want to go to is Daniel Smith, and of course for me they're watercolors, but particularly from the tubes. I haven't experienced buying half pans, but what I tend to do is buy the tubes and then squeeze them out, and I find that I prefer using some of the colors, not all of them, but some of the colors, and of course you wouldn't know until you do it, straight from the tube rather than from a half pan, because if they dry they become unusable, and that you wouldn't know, like I said. I find that using them from the tube is much better. So Daniel Smith is amazing when it comes to unique colors, particularly granulating and things like pigment separation. So this was the Cascade Green, which is one of their very much loved and known colors. The one that's probably like really highly regarded and loved by artists is the Moonglow, which is this one, again similar in the sense of pigment separation. So wait for it to dry a little and then you'll start seeing pigment separation. I'm trying to think what else to show you, like Goethite, which I have in another palette, is another beautiful ochre color, like a brown ochre, but again it sort of has that granulating property which is stunning. So there are many like that. There's one which is called Luna Red Rock and Hematite Burnt Scarlet Sienna. I mean, there are many colors that I just could, continue telling you about, that are quite sort of unique and beautiful and must-haves if you like sort of pigment separation and all of that. Okay, let me just do one more. So this was Luna Red Rock, and now is Hematite Burnt Scarlet Genuine, which next to it I want to swatch the latest color I have added. And it's this one here, Hematite Violet Genuine. So it's slightly different. It's a bit of a naughty one, my tube at least. No, it's good. So I use the toothpick now to mix it inside, and it seems to be working, but I had about half a teaspoon leak out when I was doing a video on Instagram. So side by side I'm going to show you. So this is the violet, what is it again, Hematite Violet Genuine, and this one is the Hematite Burnt Scarlet Genuine. So there you go. I'm just going to bring it up a bit closer to show you how unique these are and how beautiful they are. So yeah, Daniel Smith and watercolors from the tubes particularly are amazing. Okay, so on the subject of watercolor, I'm going to jump to Schmincke, and I'm going to recommend just their watercolors because there are some amazing products, and there's a new one that came out similar to the the liquid watercolors that I just showed you in the Ecoline, but I think theirs are pigment-based rather than the dye-based, and they also come in a bottle with a pipette, but I haven't tried those, and seeing some reviews, I'm not sure if it would make into my sort of top favorite or like best product list. So I'm going to recommend or show you what I know, and so I'm going to flip to the new page. Now, like I said, make sure you have nothing going on the other page when you're flipping this, because these oil sticks will be still drying for a couple of days, and these will stay as they are. So they will transfer, basically. Okay, so when it comes to Schmincke, I'm going to recommend their pens as well as their tubes. They are just buttery. I have never come across, and I have a multitude of Schmincke's watercolor half pens in my collection. This is just one pen that I filled up, but you can see there's a huge number here. This is the 48 half pans palette, and yeah, So every single color is just buttery. They have exactly the same formula. I don't know how they do it. I do know that they fill up their half pans, I think 4 times, 3 to 4 times, which is what I'm trying to base my own handmade watercolors. I fill up mine up to 4 times as well, and that just makes it possible to get as much pigment in there as possible. So any color I could pick from this palette has the same creamy formula, and I just love them. Love them. Yeah, so I'm just trying to find another color. Let's go with the brilliant purple here, which essentially is similar to Opera Pink. Alright, so there you go. You can see they're beautiful. And same thing goes obviously for their tubes, straight from the tube as well. I have a whole box sitting in my shelf filled with the tube paints as well. But let's just demonstrate this one, yellow raw ochre. Look at this creaminess. So the yellow ochre is actually pushing into the pink rather than the pink going into it. Interesting. Yes, so they are beautiful. What else is there to say? Schmincke are one of the top watercolor brands in my opinion. Okay, next on my list is dalarani. Now, when it comes to dalarani, the product I have discovered this year and have absolutely fallen in love with is the FW acrylic ink. So this is their artist grade range. They also have a student grade, which looks like this, System 3. Honestly, I don't know much of a difference. I'd assume, as per usual, there is probably more pigment in the artist grade, and it's probably higher quality as opposed to the student grade. But I enjoy using this one equally and wouldn't really tell apart much, of the quality. So here we go. Here is the raw Sienna. I mean, they're beautiful. So when you first use them like that, out of the tube with the pipette, they're very, very, as you can see, flat looking. But look at this. Oh my god. It sort of becomes like watercolor dreaminess. It just goes into this beautiful transparency, and the level of that sort of value that you get from the darkest to the lightest is just incredible. So I'll also, let me just show you a couple of colors. So here is Payne's Grey. So I'll do the same thing on here. So you can see the range in this one too. I'll just smooth things a little bit here. So you can see it just literally looks like watercolor, really, really beautiful. And of course, combining them with watercolor, you can, use them in layers with watercolor going on top of them for their extra sort of opacity if you wanted to. They're beautiful. So I've ordered a few more colors, which I'm super excited about. So I think, yeah, this is my last haul actually from Jackson's in 2020. So if I have time to share it with you still this December, I will do. Otherwise, I'll move into the January with that haul. Okay, so what else is there? Next, we're going to talk about Derwent. So we're going to move into pencils now. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to fit this all in, but I'll be brief with this. I have tried Derwent's many different ranges of pencils. I have tried the graphite tint, which I honestly don't use very much. I'm not enjoying them as much as I thought I would. I've tried their watercolor pencils, which are okay, but not that great. The Inktense, actually, I haven't tried them in a really long time. They used to be a pencil that I was absolutely obsessed with. So all I would use is just a bit of like a drawing ink pen with those Inktense. So I had a phase, maybe I'll do a separate video on that, where I absolutely love them. I haven't used them now, so I'm not feeling 100% sure. But what is really an amazing pencil is these two. So there's the Derwent drawing pencil, which has only 24 colors in this range. It is a pencil that just cannot compare to anything else out there. The only thing that comes sort of close-ish is their light fuzz pencil, but these are just remarkable. So let me just somehow try to swatch a few colors for you. First of all, look at the thickness of the lead. Again, something I haven't seen before. So with these, they feel like you're drawing with just like a chalk, you know, where you really have to put very little pressure onto the paper to get this sort of beautiful, almost powdery, but like soft, creamy. It's very hard to describe. It's a beautiful, beautiful sensation drawing with them. And the color palette is stunning because they're a little bit muted. This is the sort of, it's meant to be like a more neutral color palette. So what color was this? Smoke blue. The good thing is you can buy these in open stock. This is Mars orange. And if there was a bigger set, which hopefully one day they decide to bring it out, I would definitely buy it straight away without even thinking further, because they are, in my opinion, the best that is out there. If, you know, the reason I actually bought, so the reason I bought the light fuzz below as a big set is because that's the only thing I could find close enough to them. So yeah, they are amazing, these ones. They're also great for portraits, paintings or drawings if you are into that color scheme. So let's quickly look at the light fuzz. I believe there should be a swatch video already up on my channel for these, all 72 colors. Let me just grab a few. So there's another Mars orange. Let's compare Mars orange next to this Mars orange. So it feels very similar. Color-wise, it's very similar, and texture-wise, but I would not say it's the same pencil. There is a difference where this one has less of that, tiny bit less of that smoothness, and behaves more like a colored pencil, whereas these are just very, very unique. Let's see if I can swatch another good color for you. So this is, let's do Sienna. But the experience, like I said, is very similar, that you don't need to press that much. And to me, that's what I like about colored pencils. I don't like that I need to press. And out of this whole 72, there were only 2 colors that were a little bit scratchy feeling. And I think that's very good, because I will move to Caran d'Ache next. And some people really love Caran d'Ache pencils. Well, these are not Caran d'Ache, where are they? So these are Caran d'Ache, and I have a few, and already out of like 4 that I bought or something, 2 of them felt very scratchy. So that really put me off buying the entire set. But I know that there are some pencils which are really beautiful, so I might just buy them open stock, a few colors here and there, but not sort of, you know, I wouldn't go and invest into a big set, because I would hate that unpredictability in terms of having this grainy texture in some of the pencils. Okay, so that's Derwent. Amazing pencils, love them. Okay, Caran d'Ache is another one of those brands that has a range of amazing products, but I picked out those that I really enjoy. So I'll start with the Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2. There is also Neo Color 1, which I have bought a few colors of, and I have to say I don't enjoy them as much. So the difference between Neo Color 1 and Neo Color 2, these are wax oil based, and these are water soluble wax pastels. So you can use these like a watercolor, and these are more of a resist type of a finish. So if you go over these, I mean, these can be fun as well, don't get me wrong, but I just don't use them as much, and I would only use them for specific kind of projects. So these again are beautiful colors, and they are a lot of fun. I'm just thinking of what colors to swatch for you. Let's go for burnt sienna. So when you start off, it sort of feels like a pastel. They are packed with actually, in fact, I'm just going to blend two colors. Let's do saffron next to it. So these are packed with pigment, and you'll see in a minute what I mean. So there you go, look at that. They just look like watercolor, and of course you can play with them in such a manner that you could still keep the lines and the texture of these, but they do dissolve really beautifully if you wanted them to. So I'm just going to mix these two together, just show you how the colors mix like that. Look at this. So I can see a little bit of that mark from the pastel before, but not too much. I think on the camera you can see this angle or this but look, I can move it. So they're really fun. They don't create like a strong line. They're not what would be the best way to describe them? They're not staining. And look at the range as well. I can go from to yeah, they're beautiful. Okay, then moving on to another, and probably for me the top products from Caran d'Ache that I have discovered this year thanks to Irid, are these museum aquarelles. I mean, they are beautiful. So I have bought a few colors here, which I'll just swatch for you. So let's see which ones I pulled out. Terracotta. Now, straight out of the pencil, already amazing. You think, what else can I possibly need? But wait until they hit the water, or the water hits them rather. It's just out of this world. There's a color that is really stunning, which is this green ochre. I'm going to do that here too. When you add water to this one, you just like feel like you're in heaven. So, which was the pink one? The pink one was the anthraquinoid pink, and the terracotta is here. So look what happens now. These are beautiful. Super pigmented, super milky. The marks or the lines from the pencil completely disappear, and I have heard a few times that this is like a real watercolor pigment in a pencil form. Can you see what happens here? This is just, it comes alive. The luminescence and the brightness is just out of this world. They are beautiful, really pretty, and yeah, I mean, what else can I say? They're just gorgeous. So let me try blending two colors just for fun. So maybe I'll go with, so this one was the beryl green, and then we have the light malachite green. So they're fairly similar in the color family. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? And then this one is a lot lighter, it's a lot more mellow. beautiful. Yeah, so as far as a watercolor pencil goes, in my opinion, there is just nothing that compares to Caran d'Ache. For me, they are the best watercolor pencil that is out there in the market. So that's that.